It is also, let's mention it because I will probably lose money on this, and I know it's probably not a big thing, but remember all the parlays last year that hit on National Tight End Day. So I am a sucker for a good old player prop, let alone a multiple leg parlay tight end scores. So if you do have some tight ends that you guys like, please let us know in the comments. What's your favorite tight end today to score a touchdown? Obviously, it's going to be pretty square, but I'm just a little. I had FOMO last year about not betting enough tight ends, so I'll probably be having some tight end props today. So let us know what tight ends you like heading into Week 8 of the NFL. But basically, here, me and Ethan go through the entire slate Sunday. We might even touch on the Monday game, even though we will be live tomorrow talking Commanders and Chiefs and other games going on tomorrow night. But super excited for this week. We do have a bye for our Lions, but still a decent week in the NFL. Again, if you want more in-depth predictions on each of these plays, we do have our NFL show out now over on our YouTube channel, Better in Green, where we break down each game a little more in depth, and you get my opinion, Ethan's opinion, and Ben's opinion on those games. Again, that's over on our channel. But yeah, interested in today. Not the greatest matchups. There's not really any marquee matchups that I'm like, wow, that's going to be super fun to watch. I guess the biggest storyline is probably Sunday night tonight with Rodgers against his old team, Green Bay. But besides that, there's not any like really big, Lions, Chiefs type of matchups here. But interested in a couple storylines and interested in your opinion, Ethan, on some of these games. I only have one game line locked in. I might add one or more other ones. I know you said you like this slate more than I do. So again, I'm probably going to go down the player prop trail and rabbit hole here, but interested to see your opinion. But Ethan, welcome. How are you feeling about today, and how did you do yesterday in college football?
Yeah, I was just when you mentioned the storylines, I was just trying to remember. Did D'Amico Ryans, did he coach for San Francisco? Was he their DC? I
That's
think
what
he was,
someone
right?
said. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So I guess maybe there's that, which I do like the Texans. So, but yeah, I woke up this morning thinking, well, I have one play locked in from way earlier in the week. Have a play I absolutely love today that we'll get into. But I was pretty sure those would probably be my only two plays of the day, and then I just got digging this morning, and yeah, I really like the card. Not fully sure what I'll end up locking in. But yeah, definitely some plays that I am looking at, some lines that I still think are going to move opposite of what I'm looking to get on. So I'm kind of waiting for the line move. Um, but yeah, really like today's card. Yesterday, I'm just, we were talking and I tweeted, but I'm just getting annoyed with college football, just like breaking even a lot. We put in so much effort and then so many bets. And then just when the dust settles, it's like, wow, I lost 0.3 units or whatever. Um, which is fine. I mean, it's better than going 0-7 and just completely losing everything. But yeah, it's just getting a little frustrated with college football because I do expect the later we get into the year to have some of those days where you go like 5-2, 6-1, and really have a nice day. And I just have yet to have that. But the late cover with Michigan State, that really helped me. I actually turned that game off, and just seeing your text was what let me know that they came back and scored. So I did need that. And then I won in everything else. I won in UFC. I won in EPL soccer. I won in NHL, MLB. Small loss in college football. So we'll take it. One overall on the day, but just a little bit frustrated with the college football results. And of course, all my leans are just like money.
Yeah.
Wisconsin, dude, that
Wisconsin
game,
was money.
money. Team total over, hit. I was looking, you could bet on their total yards for the game. It was like 173.5. Barely hit, but it hit. Wisconsin to cover was as easy as it gets. Like for a split second, I was like, do I just load up different units on like 10 different Wisconsin bets? And they probably all would have hit, but
Yeah.
Wisconsin sucks. So
Thank God. Well, I really wish I would have got this win, but thank God North Carolina didn't pull off the upset in overtime because I did really like North Carolina money line just straight up. I think Virginia's overrated, and Virginia got the win, did not cover obviously, but North Carolina went for 2 in OT and missed by about an inch. But yeah, that's kind of how I was as well. That Wisconsin game especially. I mean, 31.5 for a team that hasn't scored in 2 weeks. I mean, come on. And
right.
yeah, what was that? 21-7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No sweat.
Yeah, that's just how it goes sometimes,
Speaking
Like,
of an inch and a lean that I didn't bet that would have lost, how about that Missouri ending?
yeah,
Dude.
yeah, I Mizzou +3,
Uh, I mean, what
which
a catch by that young man, but
which
just short.
he caught it. Wasn't there 6 seconds when he caught it, or was there 6 seconds when they threw it? Like,
Uh,
I feel like they.
I think when they snapped it,
Okay,
yeah, it was definitely a 0.
okay. Because I was
Yeah.
like, I think there might be some time on the clock, and I don't know how it goes with reviews, but you can have the guys lined up at the line of scrimmage. You would think just waiting for the ref to say, "Okay, we're rolling," and just I don't know,
Yeah.
but yeah,
Yeah.
talk
I think
about
it was.
a Hail Mary, just a little bit short. Game of inches, though. That's why we love it. That's why we love it.
It
Um,
reminded me of the Keith Nickel Michigan State against Wisconsin.
yeah,
So that one was truly an inch as well
yeah,
on the right side.
yeah. But as always, pretty exciting week in college football yesterday. We do have more college football next week, so make sure you stay tuned to our college football show. That is my passion. Ethan's more of an NFL guy. So I'm interested to see your NFL thoughts today. Like I said, I have one game line, and it is that line or that game we're going to talk about shortly here. It's probably my favorite game of the day, which means that is 100% going to lose. My favorite bets in the NFL and in college football, I think I've lost 3 weeks in a row. Favorite bet yesterday in college football was Iowa State. That looked like pretty secure and then just completely collapsed. So I do have a really confident play, but please don't go over there and smash it because it's my most confident. That I have a terrible track record recently of my favorite bets losing. But let's start off on NFL starting at 1 p.m. My Buffalo Bills, been a Bills fan since day one. Bills Mafia, hashtag. Just kidding. Uh, the Bills are at the Panthers. This is a 7-point spread with the Panthers being a home dog over under 47.5. What do you got in a potential Bills bounce back versus a kind of hot Carolina Panthers team?
Yeah, yeah, we got caught up talking before the show, so we are on kind of late. So if it's a game I don't have a super strong opinion on, I'll just make it really quick. But this is one I don't really have a strong opinion on. I do lean Buffalo on the bounce back. They're undefeated out of a bye week, I believe, in the McDermott era. Um, but that being said, I think I mentioned it at Wednesday. I just really do fear about those running backs for the Panthers just feasting on this poor defense of Buffalo, rushing defense of Buffalo. Um, but they could have worked on that heavily in the bye week. I just don't really know what we're going to see here. So I think the number's right. Not going to bet it either way. Bills probably win. So, I'd maybe look for them in a teaser or money line, but I won't be having action on that game. Although my fantasy team is mostly all Bills. So hope they just run up the score.
Yeah, a game I'm not super interested in, even with my Bills shirt on. I do like my Carolina Panthers as well. I agree with you. I think it's probably a good bounce back spot for Buffalo, but it's at Carolina, who, like I said, is kind of hot right now. Probably the hottest they've been since Bryce Young era. But yeah, just a game I'm not super interested in. I'm seeing people, small amount of people back in Carolina, so that would maybe be my. Like I said, I like the Bills, but like the people I follow around Carolina. So yeah, I'm split. Not going to bet it. I just don't think it's a great betting situation here. A couple other games I like a lot more. So we'll move on after that one. And again, if you guys have a game you want us to jump to, please let us know in the comments. We can jump to that game, but we basically just go from time slot all the way to Sunday night. So if there is a game you want us to talk about, make sure you let us know. Let's go to a rematch game, a quick rematch game here. We have the Giants at the Eagles. The Eagles are 7-point favorites at home. Over under here is 44.5. From what I'm seeing here, people are still backing the Giants that I follow, which is kind of crazy. I personally would expect the Eagles to bounce back hard in this game. I got after getting embarrassed against the Giants. What was that, Thursday night, or was it a Thursday night game?
Yeah.
Which was
Yep.
literally 2-3 weeks ago, and now these two teams play right again. So I think it's a bad spot for the Giants, honestly, and they're coming off a very, very bad, embarrassing comeback loss against the Broncos, where they were up. The Broncos scored 33 in the fourth quarter to win that game. It was absolutely crazy. Big collapse for the Giants. So I think this is a really good spot, in my opinion, for the Eagles. But I am seeing little money coming in on Philly, like I would expect. I think Philly is probably the sharper side, but it's also you're playing into the fact of a big comeback game for Philly. But people I see are still on the Giants. So I'm ultimately going to pass on this one as well. Um, maybe, like I said, I do. It is National Tight Ends Day, so I am a sucker for a good tight end bet. Theo Johnson for the Giants is unreal at the moment. The Giants have no wide receivers, also, which is kind of giving him a little extra traction. And then you can't really go wrong with Goddard either for the Eagles. With I think AJ Brown is out, so
Yep.
it's a decent bet there. But I might have a tight end bet in that game. Not my favorite tight end bets of the day, but if I had to choose, it'd be either Theo Johnson or Dallas Goddard. But I ultimately think the Eagles bounce back. But again, not a bet I'm super confident in betting. How about you?
Yeah, here's the issue with Goddard is he absolutely feasts when he's on my fantasy bench, and he is in my fantasy lineup this
Okay,
week.
pass.
So yeah, 2 for 17. That's what he's getting today. No touchdown. Very disappointing, but that's how she goes. Yeah, I like the Eagles here too. Don't think I can lay the full touchdown, and a hook. I've heard the public is pretty heavy on the Eagles, which shocks me as well. But yeah, the Giants. It's very tough to know what you're going to get from them after last week. I was just thinking while you were talking, if you would have told me the Giants led by 19 points, didn't allow a point in the first 3 quarters, and scored 13 points in the fourth quarter, I mean, you're there all day, and
Yeah.
they found a way to lose that game. So, I mean, it's just a unprecedented spot here for New York. Like, there's no way to even really quantify that. But I don't think Philly loses this game. So, I would look at Philly in the teaser as well, or a money line parlay, which I'm debating. I really want to get action on that. I'm just trying to find a partner for it.
Yeah. I again don't twist my arm with a couple money line parlays. I'm kind of all ears there. Ben in the comments. Hey Ben, Brees Hall or Brees Hall versus the Bengals or Javante Williams revenge game versus Denver.
Okay, I'm done with the Breeze.
Okay. Yeah, I have no opinion. I think Brees is a better back, but yeah, I am seeing. We'll get to this game, but I am seeing people on the Cowboys, so maybe Javante's the move there. Um,
I have
let's.
Breeze in 3 leagues, and I'm done with them. But I have to play them in all of them.
Yeah, you do have to play him when you drafted him early. You got to play him. That's why I like everyone in the like people asking fantasy stuff. Like if you drafted a guy in the top 4 or 5 rounds, you have to start him, even if he's
Yeah.
sucking. Like you just have to. Like that's how I am with Cortland Sutton. So not playing fantastic, but I got to start him because I'm so freaking high on court. But
Dude, who was that Raiders running back last year? Just fleeced me.
oh, number 3, the Georgia
Was
guy.
it?
Um,
Ben will probably remember.
what's his freaking name?
Ben, let us know if you who do you replace? Oh, Jacobs. He was Josh Jacobs
It's the
replacement.
Georgia guy, number 3. I don't know his name. I don't even know
Yeah.
if he's there anymore.
I think he might be it.
I want to say it's White, is it not?
Yeah, Zamir White.
Zamir White. There it is.
Yeah.
Ben in the comments, Zamir White.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, he did he did not fantastic last year. Let's move on. Browns at the Patriots. This is a Patriots 7-point favorite at home. Over under 40.5 here. Ooh, I forgot to take my no touchdown bet. I have Drake May in all 3 leagues. I have made the executive decision to bench Drake May in all 3 leagues. I think this is going to be a barn burner. I like Cleveland to cover in this game, maybe even Cleveland to win this game. But I think this is going to be a really, really ugly game. Browns, not fantastic, but their defense is still pretty legit. And I just think Drake May is going to struggle a bit after having a couple good games in a row. So I ultimately bench Drake May, which means he's probably going to go off in this game. He's going to go soaring over. But I love this under. I love the Browns. I'm staying off of Drake, and this is probably going to be my $5 no touchdown score in game bet of the week. Has yet to hit this year, but we are due. So yeah, don't love the Patriots at all. Pretty low on them, and I think the Browns have a really good bounce back spot, and I like them on the spread, potentially Cleveland on the money line.
Yeah, speaking of storyline games, the ghost of the Bill Belichick game here. Got to start in Cleveland. Obviously, the Patriots. No longer with either one, but there you go. I have no play in this. I lean Cleveland, but won't be getting involved. Maybe Fannin touchdown on tight end day. No, Njoku.
Ooh, I am starting Fannin. He is a reception merchant. Hasn't I think he's gotten in the end zone once, and I did bet him that day to score. I also bet him 3 other days, but he is a yeah. He's a. I like him in fantasy. He runs the ball and he catches the ball. Not a whole lot of yards, but if you're in a PPR or half PPR league, I do love. What's his first name?
Harold.
Harold Fanning Jr. out of Bowling Green. He's gonna be a good player. I like him.
Yeah.
Okay. I do like the under in that as well. I might play the under as a straight bet. Pretty high on that under. I haven't looked at weather at all, so if you do guys have weather updates, I don't really believe in weather that much, but haven't even looked at weather at all. Looks like it's a little overcast over here on the East Coast, but I don't know if it's going to be absolutely windy over there in Chicago or New England or God knows where across the country. So let us know on weather. But
I do like that under too, because I think people are going to see both teams put up 31 last week.
yep.
Total of 40 and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's got defensive battle written all over it.
Let's move on to the next game at 1. We have the Jets at the Bengals. Bengals are a 5.5-point favorite at home, over under 43.5. Who do you got in this one?
So I'm going to look to live bet the Jets. If they go down a touchdown, if I can get 8.5, 9.5. You know what? I might wait for double digits and try to get involved on the Jets. That's the only way I could play it. Don't want to bet them before the game starts, but Bengals just have no business laying almost a touchdown. Their 3 wins this year have come by a combined 7 points. So now they need to go win this game by 7 points. Yeah, I don't think Bengals find a way to cover this game at all, but then again, it's the Jets. So I don't want to take under a touchdown with New York. I don't want to buy it up to over a touchdown. I'm just going to wait. Figure the Bengals could probably score first and get in live.
Yeah, I'm pretty high on the Jets in this game. I think the Jets might. I know this is crazy. What are they? 0-7. I don't know. I think the Jets can maybe pull it a win. I've been on the Jets and wrong on the Jets multiple times this year. We do have news in this game. Tyrod Taylor out, which means Justin Fields will be starting. I am starting Justin Fields in a fantasy league. I think 2 fantasy leagues. Yikes. I think he can get into the end zone rushing. I love my favorite touchdown score today for National Tight Ends Day. Going back to the well here with Mason freaking Taylor. He's so due to score. I liked it better with Tyrod, but Fields still likes his tight ends. So I'd really like Mason Taylor for National Tight Ends Day. I think he's like +2 something to score. Maybe even +3. Let me check real quick. Mason Taylor's +300 on DraftKings to score a touchdown. I absolutely love it. I think he gets in there. Again, my favorite tight end score today is Mason Taylor for the Jets. But I do like Justin Fields on the ground to score as well. And I do like the Jets on the spread. Don't know if I'll get involved there, but definitely will be involved on the player prop market in that Jets Bengals game. I'm also seeing people that have. Ooh, I don't hate it. Also, we were forgetting Cincinnati. Terrible defense. I know they struggle more in the passing game, which Justin not a fantastic passer, but it's a Swiss cheese defense. It's got to be the worst defense in the league. I don't know if that's true, but it feels like it is. And okay, they are so freaking bad. And they just had like you said, both teams. Oh no, that was the Cleveland game. But Bengals got a win last week, right? Who they beat last week?
Pittsburgh.
Bengals. Yeah, Bengals beat Pitt last week. Maybe they're feeling a little high and mighty now that they got the real Joe starting there, Joe Flacco. So maybe they have some new steam and maybe they can think they can get Joe back in December and have a shot at the playoffs. But I like the Jets to be a stinker to their party and potentially win that game on the money line outright. Don't know if I'll get involved on Jets money line though.
I will say the only 2 games have not gone over for the Bengals this year: Browns and Broncos. Both very good defenses, and both on the road.
Okay.
So
Are you getting persuaded on an over?
I don't know, man. I could have a lot
over
of
on the Jets.
I could have a lot of plays. Like that has 31-27 Bengals win written all over it to me.
Yeah. I like I think Justin Fields gets it on the ground. I like Mason Taylor. So there's 14 points at least for you. But yeah, I don't take a whole lot of convincing for a good old over bet.
Let me check out the Jets team total. Because that's probably going to be like within 14.5 to 16.5, I would think. Let's see.
Yeah, total's 43.5, 5.5 point dog.
19.5.
Ooh.
I think they get 20.
19.5 and 14 or 24.5 for the Bengals.
Yep.
Something like that.
I think they get 20.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. Go Jets. Jets. We still suck.
Yes.
Okay, we'll go to. I didn't even know you're a Falcons fan. Maybe because Kirko Chains is starting. Is that the reason for the Falcons ball cap there? Dolphins at the Falcons. Falcons are a 7-point favorite at home. Over under 44.5. Who do you got? Kirko Chains back in action for Atlanta.
Yeah, just one of the old hats I had from high school that I actually love it. I love the gray and the bright red there. So, and the reason I wore it is because I'm thinking about adding the Falcons to that Eagles teaser, um, getting them down to just basically win the game. Because I do like Kirk at the starting quarterback position, but Drake London got ruled out right before we came on, so that does give me a little hesitancy. Um, and then you would think this would be the biggest effort for the Dolphins of the year after losing 6-31 against the Browns, which it makes me a little nervous, but like I don't know if that team cares at all. Like
Yeah,
I don't think Mike McDaniel really has like that
he does
factor
not.
to
I'm
him.
going to tell you right now, he does not.
Yeah, like no one on that team cares. I mean, and why you're 1-6, you live in Miami, your season's done. I mean, your coach is a dead man walking. Like, why would you care? I wouldn't care. Um, yeah, I just don't think the Falcons lose this game. So I don't know. I couldn't lay the full touchdown. I know that the Falcons are obviously very public, and why not? But that game just it's one where if I bet it, I'm probably going to be sweating it and thinking, why did I do this? And then the Dolphins probably win outright. And if I don't bet it, it's going to be like 34-0 by halftime. Like, well, that would have been really easy. I don't know. I'm debating. What's your thought on it?
Yeah, I lean the Falcons simply because I can't I can't back Miami anymore, man. And it's a team that has zero passion. Their coach has zero passion. I don't think anyone is bought in at all. So I do lean the Falcons in that game. With Kirko playing, though, we got to get into the player props here. Kirko getting a little older, probably doesn't have the best deep ball. Kirko's always loved his tight ends. I know it's ugly. I know it's gross, but I kind of like Kyle Pitts to get in there. With Drake London out, he's been getting a lot more receptions. So Kyle Pitts will most likely be another one of my tight end scores today for National Tight Ends Day. Kirko has always loved his tight ends, like I said. And no Drake London, you get a really big target with Pitts, who's basically a wide receiver at 6'5", 6'4". And again, it's Kyle Pitts, who's been a pretty big bust, probably the biggest tight end bust in freaking recent history. But he's not even that bad. I feel like he should have been better as a 5th overall pick, but I do like Pitts to get into the end zone today. I liked it before Drake London, like it even more now. Obviously, with Drake London now, it's going to get a little more popular. Probably losing value on the odds there, but I still like Pitts to get into the end zone. So that will be a touchdown score for me for tight ends day. Browns at the Patriots. We already talked about that one, did we? Why am I all over the place here? Okay. We already talked about Jets Bengals. Why did this just refresh on me? Okay. Sorry about this. Bears Ravens. We have not talked about this one. We have Ravens now as a 2.5-point favorite at home. Over under is 45.5. When we talked about this show or this game on the show on Wednesday, the Ravens were 6.5-point favorites. That was with Lamar being questionable to be in the game. Now Lamar has been ruled out. News to me. Thank you, Ethan, for reminding me before the show. But it's been 4 points of line movement with Lamar out. Again, usually I think that would be too much. I do think Lamar is a big staple to this team. We've seen how bad they are without Lamar. But you do have Huntley, he's starting, right? Huntley,
Yep.
who is Lamar 0.25. I won't even call him 0.5, but similar play style as Lamar. And I still think 2.5 points or 4 points of line movement is just a little too much. I still think you're getting good value on the Ravens. I think the Bears are obviously overrated. So I would still lean the Ravens here. Couple tight ends I got to mention that I do like. I have Colson in a parlay. I'll probably bet him straight. I just still don't understand his odds, man. He's not getting receptions. He's not getting looks. He has yet to score this year, but he's still the leading tight end odds to score in this game. Not like there's a whole lot, but I believe Cole Kmet is out. So that gives a couple more targets to Loveland. So I'll probably get around on Colson. Again, he is my Michigan boy. I bet on Colson way too much, drafted him in too many fantasy leagues, and he was the wrong tight end to draft. You should have got Tyler Warren. But maybe with Cole Kmet out, Colson finds a new role. And then you do have Mark Andrews that I do kind of like even without Lamar. Um, not a whole lot of options at wide receiver for the Ravens. I know you got Zay, but besides that, I mean, yeah, it's Zay, and then it's Mark, and then it's Justice Hill for, well, obviously Derrick Henry's minus 5,000 to score, but those
Right.
are your those are your three other options after Derrick, and I don't know. Mark hasn't had a great year, but I could definitely see him getting in the end zone, especially National Tight Ends Day, one of the veteran tight ends in the league. Also, with trade rumors going around of Mark, maybe he wants to either bump up his trade stock or show that he wants to stay at the Ravens with the touchdown today. So, touchdown scores that I do like Andrews and Loveland. Again, two tight ends. Those are pretty much the only touchdown scores I'll give out besides Justin Fields on the ground. But yeah, I lean the Ravens still, even with the 4 points of line movement. I still think they get it done with Huntley at QB.
Yeah, I unfortunately locked in 5.5, I think on Sunday, a week ago, and thought I was being sharp, thought I was getting ahead of the move, and I did. And then obviously Lamar gets ruled out, and now I have a just terrible number. So I just feel way behind the eight ball in this game, but I do still like it. And I still think they cover the 5.5 here. And really, the principle is still the same. I want to fade the Bears. 4 straight wins. Haven't lost since week 2 against Detroit. But the Bears are just, they're not that good. They've beaten the Cowboys, terrible defense, the Raiders, the Commanders, and the Saints. Just 4 teams that I'm not very high on whatsoever. Traveling to Baltimore, Baltimore off the bye. Like you said, Huntley, I like Cooper Rush, but Huntley makes so much more sense filling in for this offense with his play style being very similar to Lamar. So I do like that we get Huntley. It's basically a redo of the injured quarterback theory because there's not recent film on Tyler Huntley. Um, the Bears were probably practicing all week for Lamar, which I guess going for Huntley it still kind of helps out probably what they were practicing. But yeah, I think Huntley is just like kind of a new breath to this team. Obviously, Cooper Rush didn't get it done. Lamar struggled when he was playing, so I like Huntley here. Um, and then also, obviously, Lamar wasn't the only injury Baltimore had. Ronnie Stanley, left tackle, was banged up. Their defense was just a shell of themselves, but they have Ronnie Stanley fully healthy. Nate Wiggins, the corner, fully healthy. Kyle Hamilton, fully healthy. Roquan Smith is back. Kyle Van Noy is back. So their defense is really the concerning side of the ball. They got a lot of guys back off the bye week. So I'd still like Baltimore in this spot. Obviously, wish I had the number under a field goal than 5.5. But if they cover 3, they likely cover 5.5. So I still like it. I'm gonna ride it, even though I have a bad number. But I do like the Ravens.
Yeah. I still like it. So hopefully the Ravens can get it done for you on the 5.5. Hopefully they win it by a touchdown or more. But yeah, I still think the Ravens get a win, good win against a bad Bears team, an overrated Bears team as always. My one and only bet of the day on game spreads is going to be this Niners Texans game. Has not moved. I believe Purdy has now been ruled out, which means you still get Mac Jones, who has been a viable quarterback for the Niners. You have a Texans team that offense is god freaking awful. Terrible offensive line. Quarterback sucks in CJ Stroud. You have Nico Collins out, but yet the Texans are still at 2.5. It's been staying at 2.5 with all these injuries and all these updates the entire week. Just has not budged. So I'm going to have to take it with the Texans here. I do have Texans on the money line as my one and only bet so far of the day. I think it's the sharpest play of the day. And like I said, my favorite bets have been terrible. It seems like that one is always the first one and the biggest loss by far. But I got to stay with the sharps, and I do think it's the sharpest play of the week. So give me Texans money line here. How about you?
I'm with you. I think I'm going to play it. Yeah, you nailed it. It's the sharpest side on the slate today, and I do agree with it. I wish Purdy was in. I really wanted Purdy to play in this game, but I'll still take it. It's a bad spot for the Niners. They're off the Sunday night win against the Falcons, who the Falcons were off a big win in that game. Now they have to travel to Houston, out of conference game. Houston has the best defense in the NFL statistically right now, allowing, at least scoring defense. I think they only allow just over 14 points per game. Um, this sucks. I don't want to watch this game with money on the Texans because that O line will just drive you up a wall. But obviously, yeah, you mentioned it. No Purdy, no Ricky Pearsall for the Niners. Obviously, no Nick Bosa, no Fred Warner. So hopefully the Texans defense can, or O line can kind of contain that 49ers defense. Also mentioned on Wednesday's show that I think the team really got up for Fred Warner's absence last week. Not going to be the same energy coming in this week. So, yeah, I'll be on the Texans too, debating if I'll lay the 2.5 or take an inflated money line. But yeah, I do think the Texans are going to be the side here.
Yeah, I want to see what I got. I got the money line minus 125 early, so that
Wow,
looks a lot better than the
dude,
minus 148 right now on DraftKings. So,
good bet.
um, thank you, thank you. Not a whole lot of good bets here, but again, closing line value means nothing for me as of late. You would think that would be a really good betting strategy, but hasn't worked.
Worst bets with a good bet.
I've had a couple good closing lines, and then they just,
Yeah,
um, yeah. I don't think I missed my DraftKings refresh, so they flipped around some games. I don't think I missed any 1 p.m. games.
nope.
Um, okay, that leads us to the 4 p.m. We have the Bucks at the Saints. Saints are a 4.5 point home dog. Over under 46.5 here. I I know Tampa Bay looked like ass against Detroit. Detroit with third strings, practice squad, secondary, still got the win and still kind of shut down Tampa. Um, and I know it should be an easy bounce back spot for the Bucks, but I still like the Saints here. I like the Saints on the spread, and I told you I got to give out a tight end score here, and I don't even know if he is a tight end. He's more of a Swiss Army knife, fullback, running back, quarterback, tight end. I'm gonna have to go back to Taysom freaking Hill against a very bad Bucks defense and Bucks kind of secondary. Again, not the same linebackers we've seen from a traditional Bucks team back when they won the Super Bowl, which usually poor linebacker play leads to more tight end play. And like I said, Taysom doesn't even have to be a tight end. He can run one in. He can be a quarterback and scramble one in. He can be a fullback out of the flats. He can be a tight end out of the middle. All over the place. Swiss Army knife, and I do love me some Taysom Hill. I'm Gaysum for Taysom. Um, but yeah, I would lean Taysom to score. I'll probably be betting it. I think it's in the plus 200s. He's had one on the year. I could definitely see him getting in multiple times. If you do want to sprinkle 2 touchdowns for Taysom, I don't hate it. But I do like Taysom. I do like the Saints in this game.
Yeah, I think the Texans are just getting pounded right now. That line's going to 3. All right, I'm locking in 2.5 minus 118.
Okay, I like it.
Yeah, I do like me some Taysom Hill as well. Uh, so this game, I like the Saints quite a bit, but what I'm gonna do with this one is I'm gonna wait with it being in the afternoon game. If this week fixes itself like I think it should with the Sharps, beating the books again and public kind of getting mauled, then I'm going to be on the Saints. But, if that early slate is extremely public, if the Niners win, if the Bears go out, and I know the Bears are very public, um, if the public wins, if Cincinnati wins and covers, I probably won't play the Saints because it's going to be looking like another public week. But I do like the Saints. If you can get them over 4, probably wouldn't take the 3.5. I do want that full 4. But yeah, I don't think it's a good spot here for Tampa. So I like the Saints. If it's not very, very, very public to start the 1 o'clock slate, then I will be on New Orleans.
You guessed it. Ewing out with a tweet. Most bet player to score a touchdown today. It is the founder of National Tight Ends Day, George freaking Kittle. So I again, I don't really have an argument against Kittle not to score, but I don't know if I can back the most obvious tight end to score today, most obvious player to score today. Number 2 is Dallas Goddard. You have Jake Ferguson on there. You have Kincaid on there. Tyler Warren, Tucker Kraft, Mark Andrews, Kate Allen, and Hunter Henry. 9 of the top 15 on MGM most bet players to score a touchdown are tight ends. With George Kittle, I think is going to be pretty high at the top there. So again, I really don't have an argument against Kittle, but it's going to be the most obvious bet of the day.
Yeah.
Again, if it was anything like last week, most obvious wins, but I just don't know if I can get behind that one.
Right.
Cowboys at the Broncos. Broncos are a 3.5 point favorite at home. Biggest total of the day at 51.5. Who do you got here?
I don't like anything in this game, so I probably won't even break it down. I forgot even where I lean. I think I leaned on Denver. Yeah, Broncos getting a lot of money, or Dallas getting a lot of public money. But I can't back Dallas with that defense. I just really can't. So I'm gonna pass that game. I don't really have much of a lean.
Yeah, I want to take Denver. I'm seeing people that are following action on the Cowboys. Ultimately, a game I'm not too interested in. Again, Cowboys were very bad secondary, very bad defense. Hopefully, my boy Cortland can get in the end zone. Need it bad for fantasy, but I'm not going to bet it. Lost too much money on betting Court to score. So, yeah, no, not a huge lean there. 51.5. Again, pretty high total for a bad Cowboys defense. What should be a good Broncos defense has struggled a little bit. Yeah, not super interested in that game. And then that brings us to the last 4 p.m. game. This is the Titans at the Colts. Colts are a 14.5 point favorite at home. Biggest spread of the day, over under 47.5. I mean, the Colts have made their living. What are they, 6-1? Beating just trash teams. And I know they already beat the Titans. I hate playing betting on teams to win twice against the same team. I know NFL, you play the same team twice in your division. You play the three other teams twice in your division. So it happens quite a bit, but I can see the Colts just running away with this one like they have against all the trash teams they play, or I could maybe see the Titans win this one outright. So not a great lean here. Like I said, people are pretty high on Tyler Warren. I'm probably not going to bet him to score. Have him in fantasy, so I'd love it if you did, but it's just not a touchdown prop I'm super interested in. What do you got, Titans Colts?
It's the easiest pass game probably of the season because I cannot play the Titans because they're ass. They don't cover. Cannot play the Colts because they are probably the team with the least amount of value right now with how they've started their season. The easiest pass. Not interested at all in that game.
Perfect. Skip that one. This brings us to a Sunday night. Again, probably the biggest game in regards to storylines. Like we mentioned at the beginning of the show, we have the Packers at the Steelers. Steelers are a 3 point dog, over under 45.5. Again, the storyline here, Rodgers, first time against Green Bay. It's not at Green Bay, but first time against his team since he's been traded, I believe, that he's played in. I think the Jets may have played him when he was out. I don't know. But it's definitely his first. I'm 90% sure it's his first starting game against the Packers. So there's a big storyline there. I honestly was high on Green Bay, and I still kind of am, but seeing people on freaking Pittsburgh, and I don't know. I'm kind of, I will have a bet on this game since it is a Sunday night game. I just don't know what it's going to be. I do like Tucker Kraft to score. Like I mentioned, he is one of the more obvious touchdown scorers for a tight end, or in general, but also for tight ends. So yeah, I think honestly both teams are a little fraudy in my opinion, but I think the Steelers are more, and I think people might be a little eager to jump on Rodgers as a 3 point home dog against his old team. So that would make me lean to Packers, but like I said, people that I follow and somewhat trust are on Green Bay. So I'm kind of split here. Don't know where I'm going to go. Do you have a better read than me?
I do. I love the Packers.
Okay.
One of my favorite plays of the year. Absolutely love them. Again, if the day is very, very public, I'll only have one unit on the Packers. If it comes back to being somewhat sharp, multiple units on the Packers. I absolutely love them. I mean, statistically, they're way better than Pittsburgh offensively, defensively. Uh, the hype on you've just seen so many public people saying Rogers revenge, blah blah blah. But it's like, okay, well, I said it on Wednesday. Does Rogers really care? Like that dude doesn't care about anything. So I don't necessarily think he like really has this. He's not pulling in the team and saying like this is one I really want. Like he doesn't care. And then even if he does, it's just one guy. Like
Yeah.
the whole team is not buying into this. I don't know. I don't see that being a narrative whatsoever in this game. Defensively, Green Bay number one yards per play against. So I would argue them and Houston currently have the two top defenses in the NFL. Pittsburgh's defense is not good. Pittsburgh's offense is putting up points, but I don't really believe in that offense at all. I don't think against this defense they're gonna be able to score very much. I trust Love more than I trust Rodgers. I trust the running game of Green Bay more. I trust the passing game of Green Bay more. I think offensively they're better. Defensively, I know they're better. I think the public is just keeping this line at a field goal, and I think it should be 4.5. So I love Green Bay. I'll be playing it. Not sure if I'll play money line or spread. Yeah, if it's not the most public week ever, multiple units.
Okay. Yeah, I mean that's kind of where I'm leaning. I think I'm sorry. I had Jordan Love on two teams to replace Drake May. Then I kind of fell in love with Justin Fields. So I still have Jordan Love on my bench on one squad. I might put him in just as a safety blanket in case Fields sucks in both leagues. That would be detrimental. So yeah, I like Love. I know Love's not a super consistent fantasy quarterback, but he does have some big games against bad defenses, and the Steelers defense not fantastic. So I could definitely see Love, going for 300, 3 touchdowns, hopefully. So maybe I'll throw him into my starting lineup there.
I do have to say quick too. I think now is a very good time. If you hate the Steelers as much as I do, I think it's a really good time to jump in on their win total under because I think they lose to the Packers tonight. They then have the Colts next week, at the Chargers after that. I think they go 0-3 there. Home against the Bengals, they probably get a revenge win. At the Bears, up in the air. And then it's Buffalo, at Baltimore, Miami, they'll get a win. At Detroit, at Cleveland, Baltimore again.
Whew.
I mean, it's a monstrous schedule for Pittsburgh, and they're not good.
Yeah, yeah. I think I know me and you agree on Pitt, even though I was kind of high on them in the preseason, but yeah, I just don't think they're fantastic, man. I do think they're going to make a huge trade and get some sort of wide receiver that's going to be super flashy, and people are going to fall in love again with Pitt. They're in a very win now moment. Rodgers is probably Rodgers' last year, so I can see them just wasting their future on an 8-9 or 9-8 season to get into potentially a wild card spot with a flashy wide receiver. Not like there's that many good wide receivers on the trading block, but maybe an Olave, maybe a Waddle, maybe a Ridley, Myers. I don't know. I can see them getting some sort of flashy wide receiver, paying them overpriced for 1 year to try to help Rodgers out a little bit. Because besides DK, doesn't have a whole lot of help there. He has a lot of tight ends, but
Yeah,
not a whole lot of
I
help.
could see Ridley for sure.
Yeah, I could see them just going all out on Olave or something crazy like that. But
I saw the Jags are taking calls on Brian Thomas.
ooh, that would be another good one. He sucked
Yeah,
this year, but yeah, you got DK, the big guy. You need a quicker guy. So, which Olave, Ridley, Waddle, Brian are all kind of that form.
I'll call it now. Within the week, Brian Thomas, Buffalo.
Ooh, okay, okay. I don't
Yeah,
hate that. God, that would be
yeah,
good. That'd be good for
yeah.
my Billy boys. Um, Buffalo Bills since day one. And then we could quickly we got to get off here soon so we can finalize our bets and finalize our fantasy lineups. We're starting a little late. I apologize. Monday night quickly again. We won't talk about this one a whole lot because we'll talk about it more tomorrow. But with the Commanders at the Chiefs, Chiefs are 11.5 point favorite, over under 47.5. You got Marcus Mariota at QB for the Commanders. What is your initial thoughts on this game?
Yeah, the Commander in Chief game.
Ooh,
Uh,
wonder
yeah,
if
we'll
Trump
talk
will be
about
there.
more, but love Washington.
Okay.
That's all I'll say for now. Love them.
Okay. I'm not high on Marcus, but I am seeing his fantasy projection is through the roof. So maybe I'm just completely wrong, which usually that is the answer for that in regards to just betting and fantasy in general. But I think he's ass. But yeah, 11.5 does seem a little sturdy. I think I gave out the Chiefs just because I was against Mariota on our Wednesday show when they were 12.5. So I dropped the point since Wednesday. We'll talk about that one more. Do you have anything in NBA, NHL? No World Series today, right?
Right.
Um, Anything in those you want to touch on at all before I haven't even looked, but anything that you like?
Yeah, I will tweet out NHL if I have it. Haven't fully looked through that card. NBA, I played small. I'm starting off small with like half unit plays for both NHL and NBA just as we get more info. But I played the Timberwolves minus 12.5. I think it's a terrible spot for the Pacers. Wolves home opener. I think they run them out of the building. So I played that. That's probably my only NBA play today. And then, yeah, I'll tweet out if I make an NHL play.
Okay. I love that. Before we get off here, you want to give your 3 favorite NFL bets today?
Packers, Packers, Packers. Love the Packers. Um, Texans, and I'm not even going to give out the Ravens. Let's go with the Saints.
Okay. I love it. I'll give out my 3 touchdown tight end scores today. Favorite one is Mason Taylor for the Jets. I will go Taysom for the Saints and screw it. Give me Mark Andrews. I'm gonna bet both him and Colson, but give me Mark. So Mason Taylor for the Jets, Mark Andrews for the Ravens, and Taysom Hill for the Saints, my tight end touchdown scores of the day. And then my favorite game bet is the Texans, and I do like the. I'll probably get on the Packers with you as well. Maybe just some money line into a little three-legger or something.
There you go.
But anything else you want to add on before we sign off here?
That'll do it.
Okay. Thank you guys for tuning in. We do have to jump off here and finalize our bets and our fantasy lineups, but we appreciate you guys. Make sure you do like and subscribe over here on YouTube for Better and Green. It helps us continue to do this. If you do want more predictions and plays and bets, make sure you check out our channel. We cover it all, not just NFL, college football, MLB, NHL, NBA. We have UFC, MMA, and we do have EPL and other European soccer for you guys as well. So we try to cover it all over here. Make sure you do follow along if you are interested. But enjoy your Sunday, everyone, and hopefully you guys all win some money. And we'll see you guys live tomorrow for Monday night's game. See you guys.
See you guys.